Welcome. Before we begin this practice, I want to remind you to modify the poses as you need to. If you need to make them more difficult or less difficult, just listen to your own body as you move through this practice. So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position, whether that's cross-legged or half lotus or full lotus, whatever's comfortable for you. Even if you want to sit in a chair, that's fine too. So find your comfortable seated position. When you find your seat, I want you to lean forward and find those bony prominences that you're going to be sitting on. You can feel them with your fingertips, and then you're going to come to rest on those sits bones. Now begin to lengthen up through the crown of your head. The crown of the head is behind the center line, as if someone is grabbing your hair there and they're just gently tugging it up, up, up. So you're lengthening up. And then notice those sits bones that you're sitting on, and I want you to feel as if you are melting down into the ground with those sits bones. Those sits bones are getting nice and heavy in your seats, but lengthening and elongating up through the crown of the head. Back of the neck is long, chin is slightly tucked towards the open heart. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Relax that space between the eyebrows, relax the jaw. And begin to notice your breath. With each inhalation, I want you to soften that lower belly and allow those lungs to expand with air. With each exhalation, you can contract those abdominals in to press the air out of the lungs, really wringing the air out of the lungs. Continue with this breath. Softening on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. And I want you to inhale the arms out to the sides and up overhead, looking up toward your fingertips, and then exhale down into prayer position. We're going to set an intention for this practice. And I want to recite the first Yoga Sutra, which is Hatha Yoga Nushasana, which means now the inquiry of yoga. So we're using yoga to sort of check in with ourselves. How are we feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? A moment to check in, a moment of gratitude for having this time to check in with ourselves. We're going to utilize this practice today to really see how we're feeling. And remember, it's not just physical tension that we are touching when we're moving around in these bodies and accessing these poses, these asanas. We're accessing mental and emotional tension, and sometimes that can bring up emotion. So if it does, allow that emotion to come up and allow it to let go. So setting this intention to really sink into this first Yoga Sutra. Now the inquiry of yoga. And then go ahead and take your hands to the front of your knees. Continue lengthening up through the crown, melting down through your sits bones. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Start to feel yourself making space between the vertebrae as your spine lengthens and elongates. Feel as if you're getting taller, taller, taller through the crown, and heavier, heavier, heavier in your seat. Feel yourself making space in the torso for all the organs, for the lungs to expand. And then nice and slow, I want you to inhale the shoulders forward and up, softening the belly. Exhale, contract the belly, take the shoulders back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. One more time, inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Now stay here for a moment, really pressing the shoulders down towards the earth. Again, lengthening up through the crown of the head, melting down through those sits bones and pressing the shoulders down. Breathe. Now on your next inhalation, take the shoulders back and up, softening on the inhale. Exhale, contract the belly, press the air out as you roll those shoulders forward and down. Inhale, back and up. Really shrug those shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, shoulders back and up. Shrug those shoulders up, up, up. And then exhale, press the air out, shoulders forward and down. Now leave them down, press them down, lengthen up through the crown, pressing the shoulders down, getting heavy in the seat. Feel the space between the vertebrae. Feel your spine lengthening and elongating. And then taking the hands to the front of the knees, go ahead and round the back, tuck the chin, and then we're going to begin with torso circles. So you're going to start winding around the circle and then pressing the heart forward, sits bones out behind you, winding around to the other side, rounding the back, tucking the chin, and then coming back to the side again and forward. So inhaling as the heart opens and the lower back arches. Exhaling as the lower back rounds, chin tucks towards the chest. So inhale on your way forward, exhale on your way back, and allow the movement to come easily and naturally. And however you want this pace to go, follow your body's lead. If you need to go slower, if you need to pause in certain spots where you really feel pockets of tension, pause and breathe. Hatha Yoga Nishasana, now the inquiry of yoga, really utilizing this practice to inquire within, where are we holding our tension? Where are we holding physical, mental, and emotional tension that we can let go of? And breathe, inhaling on the way forward, exhaling on the way back. This time as you come forward, I want you to pause here, pressing those sits bones out behind you, opening the heart, pressing the shoulders down, breathe, and then begin winding in the opposite direction. So exhaling as you move back, inhaling as you come forward, opening the heart. Exhale as you round that spine, tucking the chin. Really winding around the circle, very present, very aware of all the pockets of tension that you're feeling and breathing into those and releasing them through the exhale. With each inhale, imagine that air is traveling straight into all these pockets of tension. And then as you exhale, you are releasing them. And then as you come back into a rounded position, pause here, tuck the chin towards the chest, press the shoulders down. And then nice and slow from here, come back up to a seated position. Lengthen up through that crown, melt down through those sits bones, relax the face, relax the shoulders, press those shoulders down. And then go ahead and release your legs. I want you to take your left foot over by your right hip. Right foot crosses over that knee. Now, if your hips are too tight, just do whatever you can to get semi in this position, okay? If this foot needs to be on the inside of the left knee, that's okay. But if you can, bring it to the outside and scoot this left foot over so you can really get on those the sits bones, okay? And if this is all you can do, this is fine. You're going to grab that front knee and lengthen up through the crown, melt down through those sits bones. If you can go a little deeper, we're going to actually take the left arm to the outside of that right knee, take the right hand behind the hip, lengthen up through the crown, and then start looking over that shoulder in a twist. Breathe, press that elbow into the knee for some leverage. Breathe into the whole back of the lower back, the right side waist. the left side waist, breathing into this spinal twist, Matsyendrasana. And again, with each inhale, see if you can soften the belly. With each exhale, let some more tension go. Inhale, soften the belly, lengthen up through the crown. Exhale, look over that shoulder, press the tension out. One more nice deep inhale. And then exhale, release to the other side. Left foot on the outside of the left, right foot on the outside of the left hip, left foot on the outside of the right knee. Hold that knee in, lengthen up through the crown, find your sits bones underneath you, relax the shoulders, and then if you can, take that right elbow on the outside of that left knee, place your left hand behind you, begin lengthening up through the crown, and then exhale, look over that left shoulder. Inhale, lengthening up, soften the belly on the inhale. Exhale, look over that left shoulder, releasing the tension as you twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, soften that belly, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Release the tension. Nice deep inhale, soften that belly, and then exhale, releasing. Go ahead and take both knees underneath you for tabletop position. Place the wrists right under the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. And from here, you're going to extend your right leg out behind you. And I want you to use those glute muscles to really lift that leg, okay? So you're not overexerting your lower back. Really use the glute muscles to extend the leg out. And then from here, you can lift your left arm forward for a balancing pose. Use that core to find that balance and use your breath to find the balance. So inhaling, see if you can soften the belly. Exhaling, press the air out while you utilize this core to stay balanced in this pose. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, take the left hand down and start drawing the right knee and foot forward. If you need to use this hand to help draw it forward into a lunge, you can. From here, you can place a blanket under the back knee if you need it. Take your hands to your hips for Anjaneyasana pose. We're going to start shifting those hips forward and down. So again, listen to your body. Adho Yoga Nishasana, now the inquiry of yoga. Feel the tension in the front of that left hip. Feel the tension in those muscles that are attaching the leg to the torso. Okay, breathe into that. You can place your hands on the knee. You can take blocks on either side of you if you need to for some support. But again, shoulders over the hips, lengthen up through the crown, open the heart, and begin to shift forward as the hip opens. Okay? As the psoas muscle opens. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe into any tension, any sensation. Exhale, release that tension, that stress. And then nice and slow, I want you to round down over that leg. You're going to shift your hips back as you straighten this front leg, flex the front foot for Ardha Hanuman, half split. Now from here, we want to flex this foot, feel the tension. If you need to bend the knee, you can, but see if you can straighten on the knee. And if you need to use blocks to get your upper body up a little bit more to be able to straighten the leg, you can do that too. That's totally fine. We really want to be able to access the hamstring muscles here. They're attaching into that lower pelvis. When those hamstrings are tight, they can tug on that lower pelvis, tug on that lower back, and cause some low back issues as well. Breathe into the sensations. You can windshield wipe the foot from side to side, getting different aspects of the hamstring muscles. Breathe in the sensation, physical tension, mental tension, emotional tension. Breathe. See if you can let it go. And you can move in these poses. So you want to shift from side to side with the pelvis and the torso as you're windshield wiping that foot. It's okay to have movement in these poses to see where are the pockets of tension, where is the sensation, so you can access it and let it go. And then go ahead and bend that knee, come back into your lunge, and from here, you're going to walk the foot over for Kapotasana pigeon pose. So the back leg should be straight out behind you. The front leg, ideally, the lower leg is perpendicular to the side of your mat. But we're just starting out. This leg, this front foot is going to be closer in towards the pelvis, and that's okay. We want to try to flex the front foot just to be very aware of what that foot's doing. Okay? And then I want you to lengthen up through the crown, and you want to have those hips parallel to the earth. So if you find yourself trying to inch over onto that right hip, then you may need to scoot this front foot back a little bit towards your pelvis. We want those hips parallel to the earth. So if you have to get the right hip off the ground, that's fine. But we want the hips parallel, okay? We want you to really be accessing the back of the right hip, okay? So however you need to do that. And then relax the shoulders, press the shoulders down and away from those ears. Nice and slow, I want you to melt down towards the earth. Sometimes I like to use that left hand to pin that foot down because sometimes it will just slide back towards your pelvis. And that's okay, you can pin it down, or if it's fine, you can come down onto your forearms. Wherever you feel like you need to be in this pose. You're going to start to feel the tension in the back of this hip. Breathe into it. If anytime it gets to be too much, back out of the pose. This is one of those poses you don't want to overdo it. From here, you can extend the arms straight out if you want to go deeper, if you need some more sensation. Breathing into the back of that hip. And even more, you can thread the left arm underneath the right, coming onto that left shoulder, using the right elbow or the right hand to get a little more leverage, get a little more sensation out of the pose. Breathing into it, breathing into the sensations in this hip. Keep breathing. Inhale. See if you can soften that belly in towards the earth. Exhale, release the tension. One more. Inhale, soften the belly in towards that right foot, in towards the earth. And then nice and slow, start coming out of the pose. Press the shoulders down and away. Lengthen up through the crown. Press that heart forward. And then nice and slow, and release back to tabletop position. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. From here, I want you to inhale, exhale, take those hips down to your left. And then inhale up, exhale, take the hips to the right. Inhale up, extend the left leg back using those glute muscles. Right arm forward, find your balance. Use the core for balance. Breathe. Take a nice deep inhale, soften the belly. Exhale, press that air out, contracting the belly. Press the left shoulder away from the left ear, and then drop the right hand and use your core to draw that left knee and foot forward. If you need to use that left hand to help draw that foot forward into your lunge, you can. Take the hands on the knee and then hands to the hips and start drawing those hips forward and down. If you need a blanket under that right knee, you can take it. Shoulders over the hips, lengthen up through the crown of the head, and then draw those hips forward and down. And again, listen to your body. Don't go too far. Breathing into the right front hip, right psoas, muscles attaching the leg to the torso. And again, that psoas muscle, when it gets tight, it can tug on the low back as well and cause low back pain. So all of these asanas are great for any sort of low back pelvic issues, as long as you don't have anything major going on with the bones and the joints. So lengthen up, breathe. If you want to go deeper in Anjaneyasana here, you can always take the arms up, reaching up, and then you can take the left fingertips to the earth and reach the right arm up and over. It gives you a little more sensation, a little more stretch out of that front right hip. And then coming forward, draw the hips back for half split Ardha Hanuman. Flex that front foot. You can windshield wipe the toes back and forth. Breathe. Soften on that belly on the inhale. Really allow the lungs to expand with breath. A lot of times when we're moving through these poses, we start to hold the breath because it gets difficult. It gets uncomfortable. So see if you can't soften on the belly. Allow that breath to really move in. It helps you really focus, really draw your awareness to what's happening in your body, and allowing that sensation, that physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress to really have a chance to let go. And find some movement here in this pose. And then nice and slow, find your lunge again and walk that foot over for Kapotasana, pigeon pose. You want those hips to stay parallel. Make sure the back leg is straight out behind you. And then the front foot is flexed, and the front leg, wherever you need it to be. It can be perpendicular to your mat. It can be shifted back towards your pelvis a little bit more. You just want those hips parallel to the earth. Sometimes you may even need to place a rolled towel or some sort of small pillow underneath the left hip to get, if your hips are still kind of up and you need some support there, you can take that support too, okay? And then once you find your positioning, I want you to lengthen up through the crown, press the shoulders down, take a nice deep inhale, soften the belly if you can. And then as you exhale, nice and slow, come into either a modified version of the pose or the full pose. You can pause here on the forearms. Sometimes I do sort of plant the hands so that I can plant that foot down, because a lot of times it'll just slide back automatically when you're coming down. So whatever you need to do, come to the forearms, breathing into the back of the left hip. And then if you want to go further, you can extend the arms straight out. Or you can thread the right arm underneath the left, coming onto the right shoulder, and pressing into the left palm to get a little bit more out of this pose. Wherever you are, I want you to breathe into that left hip. Imagine that oxygen is going straight into those cells and tissues, helping them to relax and let go. I want you to notice your belly on that front leg. See if you can soften the belly. So on the inhale, it actually drops down into that leg. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Really sinking into the details of the pose and allowing ourselves to bring awareness, to bring energy into these tight spaces so we can warm our bodies so we can warm our joints, warm all these muscular attachments, tendon attachments into the bones. To allow our joints to move the way they need to move. Reduce pain, reduce inflammation. There's a poem by Dana Faulds, and in this poem, she says, "Have I reached my full expression, or is there another defensive layer I can shed? Have I reached my full expression, or is there another defensive layer I can shed?" Have you reached your full expression of the pose, or is there still more that you're holding in your body that you need to let go of? And then slowly walk up, lengthen up through the crown, press the shoulders down, and then press yourself all the way back to table. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, let the hips drop to the left. Inhaling up, exhale to the right. Inhaling up, exhale to the left. Inhaling up, exhale to the right. Then from here, I want you to come down onto your back for the final pose. Take the knees in towards the chest. Release the left leg down. Draw the right knee in towards the right armpit. Breathe. And then release the right toes behind the left knee. Press that knee down towards the earth. Extend the right arm into a T position. Look over that right shoulder. Breathe in this whole right side waist. Give yourself a mental assist here. So I want you to imagine this right hip is drawing down and away from this right shoulder. Breathing into this whole lower back, sacral area, side waist. One more deep breath, inhale. Press that hip away from that right shoulder. And then exhale. Coming back to center, hug both knees in. This time extend the right leg down. Draw the left knee in towards the left armpit. Breathe. And then exhale, release those toes behind the right knee. Press that knee down towards the earth. Extend the left arm out into a T. Look over that right shoulder or left shoulder. Breathe. That left knee may not touch the earth, and that's okay. But imagine that left hip is drawing down and away from this left shoulder, just getting more space in the lower back. Breathe. And then one more deep inhale. Press that left hip away from the left shoulder. And then exhale, back to center. Hug both knees in. You can rock from side to side, massaging that lower back. And then extend those legs out. Into Shavasana pose, take the arms out by the sides, palms facing up. Roll the shoulder blades down the back so your shoulder blades are nice and flat against the earth. Take one more nice deep inhale. And then exhale. Take a moment to just let go of control of the breath. Just take a moment here to see if you can't completely allow your body to melt down into the earth. Nothing to do but let go and relax. And then nice and slow, roll yourself onto one side. Take a moment for gratitude. The gratitude for your life, the seemingly good, the seemingly bad, but gratitude for every single moment you're all so fortunate to have for as long as we're meant to have it. Gratitude for this practice. Gratitude for this moment to check in on ourselves and release the physical tension, the mental tension, the emotional tension. Nice and slow, you can rise back up to a comfortable seated position, whether it's cross-legged, half lotus, full lotus. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, melt down through those sits bones, relax your face, relax the shoulders. Take your hands, palms facing up in a receiving gesture. I want to share a poem from Mirabai as we close this practice. O friend, understand, the body is like an ocean, rich with hidden treasures. Open your inmost chamber and light its lamp. Within the body are gardens, rare flowers, peacocks, the inner music. Within the body a lake of bliss, on it the white soul swans take their joy. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale. Prayer hands in front of the heart. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.